What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. This is episode 40 now on the series. In the last episode, we built a brand new coaster here in the park on the east side, and I still don't have a good name for it, so if you guys have a suggestion, feel free to leave that in the comments below. Freaking Dwayne Carter came in so clutch with the name White Dragon over here for this one. Now, if you guys are looking at these coasters and you're thinking, what the heck's going on? These look completely different. Once again, guys, I had to do a little off-camera editing because you guys wanted loops. A lot of you were very clearly upset that I did an inverted coaster and didn't have a single inverted section of the track. So I added 4 loops to the White Dragon. Oh great, our staff is quitting on us again. But like I was saying, I added 4 loops to the White Dragon, and I also added 2 loops into that unnamed coaster that we built previously. We will go through and ride those here in just a second, but before we do that, I have a couple more updates to share with you guys. So starting off with all of these shops and facilities, we didn't have any advertisements aside from the bathroom. Down here we had 2 signs on either side of the building. So I decided to add in the facility and shop advertisement signs. So over here we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 signs specifically for the first aid facility down there on the bottom level. And on this side, of course, we have 4 advertisement signs for the information booth. Now, I did go through and adjust the information booth, so the priority passes are now being sold for $4 because we have a priority queue here at Underwhelming, 1 at the Planeteer, 1 at the White Dragon, and another over here at the unnamed coaster. And like I had mentioned, I did that for every single shop building that we had, so they are all looking so good now, and I'm hoping that that helps get some more people into those buildings because, as you guys noticed, we still have a bunch of staff members who are unhappy because they're underworked. Now that we've gone through those updates, first, let's take a ride on the White Dragon over here. Now, I didn't change the initial drop too much. The actual incline here is exactly the same. The only difference is someone had suggested making the drop a lot sharper, so it goes down 90 degrees now, and then we have 2 loops, one here, right in front of that first path section, and the other right after it. It then goes around to another chain lift. Now, don't pay attention to this part. I know that is super fast and unrealistic, but the guests don't seem to mind, and I tried to change it around. It didn't seem to hurt our prestige really at all. So then on the opposite side of the track, we then have 2 more loops, pretty much the same thing as the other. Around the bend here, up and over a little hump, around another turn, another hump, and finally, around this turn, we have just a nice, straight, calm section that glides you in at a pretty good speed back into the station, where you slow down enough to come to a stop. So that is the White Dragon. It's going to be kind of difficult for me to call it the White Dragon because the actual coaster is green. The only thing that's white about it is the track, but I really did appreciate that name. Dwayne Carter, thank you so much for that suggestion. That was a perfect name for that ride. And now let's take a ride on the unnamed coaster over here. This one is also quite a bit different. Now with this one, I couldn't keep that same bank to the right as you exit the station here. I actually added in an LSM track section right at the exit. And then another right there speeds you up to exactly 69 miles an hour. I finally got it nailed down, guys. And then around the bend here, this actually speeds you up quite a bit again. So you have plenty of speed for the second loop. These are 2 360-degree loops. And then over here, this track section slows you down to, I believe, 20 miles an hour. So it's just a nice, steady decel through here, around this little bit, and back into the station. Once again, pretty decent speed there. It does come in kind of hot, but it definitely slows down plenty. So you're probably wondering what our prestige now is. Copperhead Strike is at a 1093. I couldn't quite get it to the 11s. And the White Dragon is at an 1166. So we are making a ton of money on both of these coasters over here. But what we're going to be doing today, guys, is we just have coaster fever. We are going to add so many more coasters into this park. As you guys can see, we have 4 more spots available for coasters in these D shapes over here in the central area of the park, or technically north, central, and the west area of the park. So I think what we're gonna do today is add another coaster over in the west area of the park. So I'm gonna make this as easy on myself as possible. First of all, we're gonna have to hit pause because we are starting to lose a little bit of money. We're at almost 26,000 bucks, which should be enough to make another coaster here. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this facility right here, and we're going to drag it over the central park all the way over to the west side over here. Now the only thing we have to do is line this baby up so it's nice and center. That looks pretty good to me on both sides of those pillars, so we'll go ahead and place it down here. And really quick, I'm just gonna go through and place down our queue so we can get that out of the way, and we'll start messing around with what coaster we're gonna be doing. I actually have no idea. I haven't even scoped them out. I did some research, so we have 3 new coasters that we can toy with. Okay, the base queue is now complete. We will of course have to go through and add in our priority queue, entrance, and exit, but let's figure out which coaster we're gonna be putting in here. So I've got it sorted by price, low to high. Yet again, you guys know we don't have a ton of money, especially after placing this building down. We're now down to about $21,500. So I attempted off camera to try to get a wooden coaster figured out. Now, unfortunately, we are currently limited to the Wild Mouse or Mouse Hunt coaster and the Hop the Gaps coaster, both of which absolutely suck. They are terrible. I tried so hard to get a coaster that would just fill out this D shape, and I couldn't do it. Neither one of them turn very sharp, and neither one of them have a steep incline for the chain lift. So trying to fit them in the D shape didn't work. Even trying to fit them in both shapes didn't work. So we're gonna skip the wooden coasters for the time being. Maybe after we do some more research and get some more wooden coasters figured out, we could do 2 or maybe just 1 up in the north central area up there. So we've done the Interdimensional, the Infinite, Mind Melt, and Copperhead Strike. So starting off from the most expensive ones, we have the hydraulic launched Zenith, or the launched Vector coaster. Those are both for adults and teens only. So I'd like to try to do maybe one over here that's for adults and teens only, and then the other at least for all ages. That way all age groups are at least able to go to each area of the park. So first, let's figure out which one is for all ages. We have the crazy one, the Looney Turns coaster right here. I think this is the same coaster that we used for Scoop-de-Loop-de-Hoop-de in the first park that we did, Paradise. And you guys, this is a really easy coaster to maneuver around. It actually worked out way better than I thought it would in the previous park, so I think we might be doing this one first over here in the west side. So let's go ahead and just place that down there. We're not going to edit it at all. Let's just add some more station onto the back side. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's not gonna let us do that, is it? Okay, let's move this somewhere else then. That did not work. Let's just drag it over to here for the time being so we can kind of figure out how many additional stations we have to add here. So once again, on the back side, we'll add a couple more here. I think right out to there should be about perfect. So we'll stop editing it now and let's drag it on over. Now we just have to place down our entrance, which is going to be right there. Our exit on the back side of the building back here. We can then connect up the entrance to our queue, make our quick little exit path back here, connect that up to the existing path we made, and now under operations, this is where we get to see how many trains we can do on this ride. So I think on Scoop-de-Loop-de-Hoop-de we had maybe 3 or 4, but on this one, you guys, we can have up to 11 trains in the station here. I think that's gonna work out pretty well. So with 11 trains, I think we're gonna have to do the same thing that we did over here on the east side, and that is utilize both of these D shapes here made out of our paths. If we were to just limit it to this one D shape, by the time the first coaster leaves the station and comes back, I bet only 2 other trains would have left in that time frame. Now we just have to set the min rider load to full load. We'll change this to, I don't know, since we have so many trains here, let's do 5 seconds to start. We'll go through and change it or adjust it if we need to, but now we can place our priority pass entrance, and that's going to be right over here. Right there looks good. The exit at the top of the stairs, of course. Right about there looks promising. pressing. And now we are ready to edit this thing up, dude. I'm so excited. Much like the other coasters that we've done, I think we're gonna have to bring our path out immediately to the right. Let's make sure that these drive tires are at the max speed. We'll place that down there. Do another section here. Now we can start our chain lift. Now, since it's gonna be super short, we can actually do this here. We'll do 60 degrees up, and then let's do, shoot, I don't know, this will probably be a large coaster. At this height, I think it would be about the same as the White Dragon. So let's place that down there, and then right here we can make this fairly short. Place that one down to there, and now this is where we get to start messing around with the drop. So let's go down 90 degrees straight away. Then we'll bring it up to a 45, and we'll start to turn it in 22.5 degrees to the right. So we'll have a nice bank section right here. Now at this point, this one's gonna have to come up to a 0. The bank section will change to a 45 as well, and then we can start to lean it off a little bit. Now down to this section of the track, let's do a 0-degree bank. Someone keeps mentioning that I need to have a bank at the end or after the turn of the drop, or of any turn really. So I'm trying to do that, trying to do the best I can. I am in no way a theme park designer or coaster builder dude brah, so cut me some slack here, guys. I just like playing video games. So after the drop, it's important that we try to decel it, because it's gonna have a ton of speed after this initial drop here. So let's go 45 degrees up, and I think what I want to do here is a little bit different than things we've done in the past. So I'm thinking if we do a 45-degree angle right here, at this point we'll go back to 0, but instead of continuing on at a 45, we're gonna do a 90. And now that we've done that, we're gonna drag this out. So about right in the center of this path, I think should be okay. Then we're gonna do 135 degrees rotating around. We'll do 180, so it's gonna be completely upside down at this point. And we have to drag this one out just a little bit further. I think right there should be good. Now out to this point, we can make it full length again. We're gonna do a bank of 225 now. This one's gonna go down 45 degrees. This one will go back up to a 0, and we'll be at a 90 about here. Is that kind of what we want to do, I guess? I think it needs to be more aggressive than that. So maybe up at this top section, instead of going to 135, let's just go straight to 180. Now that we've done that, this one can be 270. This one will be full length going down 45, and we'll have it be a 45-degree bank. This one will go back to a 0 and up to a 0. So let's test this out and just see how it does. We could leave it as a straight section right here. We'll just place that down there for the time being. All right, up the chain lift. Here we go. It's gonna come down the first drop, turn to the right, completely rotate around here. That actually looks pretty good, guys. I'd say that's nice and smooth. Now, at this point, I think we might be intersecting the next coaster. The height looks okay, but I think just how far it comes out might interfere with the next chain lift that we're gonna do, because if we take a look at this chain lift, let's say that we split this path in half, so there'd be 2 path sections right here. We're coming in on the other side, right about at the end of that path section. So, I really don't think that is gonna work out the way we want it to. Now, if we go straight right here, make this a 0, we should be able to get something to work over here, even if we have to have the chain lift just slightly either out a little bit further, closer to the edge of the path. Now right here, I think I want to do a helix down right. We could do a helix down left, but I think even with the station being here, we should have enough space to get by. Now we'll continue doing a 45, but we're gonna make it to a 0. Now this turn's gonna go 22.5 degrees to the right, and then we're gonna tighten it up to a 45 right here, do another 22.5 on this section, start to taper off that bank. There we go, looking good. Now right about here, I'm gonna bring the coaster length out to a 49.21. I'm gonna place that one down. We could try to do a butterfly inversion. It might have enough speed to complete that. We'll make it as small as possible. It's fairly center. Now this obviously is gonna have to go back up to a 0 and have to stop right about there. Okay, let's get another test going and we'll see if it can get this far. We'll just fast forward till it gets, oh great. Another vendor just quit on us. I really like how this section turned out. It's nice and smooth. Fear's not too high. Excitement is pretty up there. Up to this point, gets nice and slow. Down the helix, straightens out. It doesn't look like it's gonna have enough speed for this part. Nope, not a chance, dude. Delete that whole bit. Come on, baby, get cooking. We need a lot of speed through here. I think that is actually the exact same result that we had the first time. We're gonna back it up to there, delete that whole bit. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get ride camera on this one. Down the first drop, around this bit. I really like how that turned out. That looks super cool there. Up here into the chain lift. That's actually perfect. It slowed down like a good amount there. And then we're having the second drop go down right here. Up and around through this. That all looks good. Slows down just at the peak. And there we go. Makes it through. All right, dude. So we got a good foundation here. Let's go ahead and stop our test, and we will continue on from where we left off. I would like to bring this thing actually through the inside, kind of like we've done on other coasters. Let's try to make that a reality. That looks pretty close to me, you guys. If we straighten this out. Oh my God, dude, that's perfect. Right here, the bank would be a 0. We'll go up 45. And right here, we're gonna bank it to the right 22.5. This one's gonna be a 45-degree bank, full length, but a 90-degree turn this time. A section like this, banking it to a 22.5. We're gonna have to back it up just a little bit on the length so we can get it to stay in this area here. That looks good. This will be a 22.5. Right here, we can straighten off back to a 0. Let's get a 45 here at a 22.5-degree bank, going up 11.25. We'll place that down. Now if we do some autocomplete, it should bring it right into the station. All right, dude, here we go. This is the first official test now of the full ride, the full sequence. So up at the top, here we go. Down the first drop, around the bend, through this really cool twisty bit there. I don't know proper terminology. Like I said, I'm not a freaking coaster builder. Up to the top of that chain lift and down the backside. Here we go. We got this big, I think this was a butterfly inversion. Is that what they called this? Looking good, dude. Down this bit, pretty fast through here. I might have to add in a brake section. Well, I don't know. Back into the station. Slows it down a good amount. All right, you guys. I think this one's gonna be pretty dang good. We have a 7.46, a 5.65, and a 3.49, giving us a prestige of 1112, you guys. That's perfect. I'm totally good with that. We're leaving it as is, just like that. And I think for the name on this one, I'm feeling like Butterfly. I know it's not like an aggressive name, but I think that actually works for this one because we have this little section right here, this twisty bit, sort of like a butterfly is, you know, twisting around, twirling through the air. And then over here, we have this section, which is actually called a butterfly, so referencing the name of the butterfly, and that'd be the first thing that you see right as you walk into the west side of the park over here is this big butterfly inversion. I'm gonna call this thing the Butterfly. If you guys don't like that, I mean, feel free to suggest another name. If I like your name more than Butterfly, I'll of course just go with that and I'll give you a shout out. But we have the Butterfly here at an 1112. If we divide that by 35, that'd be $31.77. So there we go, $31.77. We can go ahead and open this thing up now. Got to make sure our priority over queue is set to high priority. Vesta, again, every freaking episode this girl tries to quit on us. You should have plenty of work. This area of the park is actually pretty poppin' most of the time, even though we don't have any coasters out here. We have seen a pretty good increase in population out here on the east side of the park, in the shops specifically, just because we now have two pretty sweet coasters out here. So I'm gonna go through really quick and change the coloring of the butterfly and the sign out front and out back, and I'll see you guys here in a sec. Okay guys, the signs have been adjusted and the color of the ride has been adjusted. Now all I did was just brighten up the yellow that it already was. I think yellow for the track color and the car color, or the train color, is pretty solid, right? That's a good choice. That's kind of what it was on the Scoop-de-Loop-de-Hoop-de, and I seem to like that. I didn't do highlighter yellow. I did more of a gold yellow, and it looks like we have a couple of people starting to make their way through the queue. I've seen quite a few people now walk up to the queue and then walk away because it's either too expensive or they say that they've run out of money. You guys, that's why I put these ATMs out front. So I don't know what their deal is, There's very clearly 2 ATMs on either side. It looks like these girls have been smart and they decided to go use the ATM. But what we have to do now is go into our staff under our work roster. For the West Central Park work roster, we have 2 rides selected. That would be the Underwhelming Coaster and the Drunk Tank. So we're gonna add to that, put in the Butterfly Station as well as the Butterfly. We can save that. So let's see, for East Central Park, we had 6 staff members. So out here, I think we're gonna have to add a couple more. So we're of course going to need another janitor, we're gonna need another mechanic, and we're gonna need another security officer. We have Jed Vela. He's going to be on the West Central Park work roster. We have Grover Hammer. He's also going to be on the West Central Park work roster. And lastly, we have Shelby Singh. He is going to be on the West Central Park work roster as well. And there you go. We got 3 more people out here ready to patrol everything. But I am beyond stoked with how the Butterfly came out, you guys. In the next episode, I think we'll be adding our next coaster over here. Like I said, we got coaster fever, baby. You can feel it in the air. But I think that is going to do it for this one, you guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.